did Sidney Rigdon's wife destroy the source material for the Book of Mormon? According to some family members, before the death of Sidney Rigdon's wife Phoebe, she burned Sidney's private papers. Sidney Rigdon's granddaughter Jessie Rigdon Seckard, in 1967, said, "I was told that grandfather made grandmother promise that upon his death everything he had ever written would be destroyed, so a short time after, on the absence of the family, she burned all the records, and the brilliant sermons and orations lay in a heap of ashes." Jessie K. Seckard to Arlene Hess, the 27th of February 1967, House Collection. Sidney Rigdon's grandson Edward Hatch, a New York Supreme Court justice, in 1896, claimed that Sidney Rigdon's manuscripts were, in fact, burned. Sidney Rigdon. In the days of the prophet Joseph Smith, Sidney Rigdon was prominent in connection with the history of the Latter-day Saints. He was a counselor to the prophet at the time of the latter's martyrdom, and directly after this event he claimed it was his right to stand at the head of the church as its guardian. The church by their vote rejected him as their leader, rightly preferring to acknowledge the quorum of apostles as the legal successors to the presidency. Rigdon thereupon left the church and was soon lost sight of. Concerning the later years of his life, the following items embodied in a letter from Elder Arthur F. Barnes to the Deseret News may be of interest. While laboring in the eastern states during the past year as a missionary in connection with Elder Samuel W. Richards, I had the pleasure of meeting a grandson of Sidney Rigdon, a gentleman high in judicial circles in the state of New York. In conversation with him, we found that he lived a number of years with his grandfather, that after leaving Nauvoo, Sidney Rigdon lived for a short time in Cuba, Pennsylvania, USA, locating on a farm, if my memory serves me right. Not being successful there, he moved to the town of Friendship, New York, where he remained up to the time of his death, which occurred in 1876. So far as he knew, Grandfather Rigdon, as he called him, took no active interest in any religious body. Certainly he never heard him speak of the Mormon religion, either for or against. He was considered a visionary man, and to have been in his younger days a powerful speaker. At times he would write short speeches for some of the politicians. He contented himself around the little town he called home, as never but once after locating in Friendship was known to go farther than 5 or 6 miles away, and that was to Philadelphia, concerning some book which was expected to come out. Returning at the end of a week, he made no reference to his trip. During the last 6 or 7 years of his life, he wrote a great deal, daily using from 7 to 9 pages of foolscap paper, but as to the subject matter, no one knew anything, as at his death all manuscripts were burned, the family not considering them with any real worth. Today they regret their haste in thus destroying them. His sons identify themselves with no particular body of worshippers, but usually investigate any new doctrine or system that comes before them. The grandson remarked to us that it was fortunate that the leadership of the church fell upon the late Brigham Young and not on Rigdon, as he, Rigdon, would have been unequal to the occasion of founding the state of Utah and building up the church financially as did Brigham Young. Possibly some items in the above may be of interest to those who were associated more than half a century ago with the then counselor to the prophet Joseph Smith, and if not to them at least to younger people, that they may know the end of one who devoted so many years of his life in establishing the great Latter-day work, and then fell back. The Latter-day Saints Millennial Star, Thursday, June 18, 1896. Volume 58, pages 395 through 396. Why did Sidney Rigdon wish to destroy all his manuscripts? Was source material for the Book of Mormon, such as an interpolated copy of Manuscript Found, converted into a heap of ash?